Adeline's heart pounded like a war drum as she stood in the dimly lit kitchen of her family's suburban home in Seattle, her hands trembling while clutching the edge of the counter. "Mom, I'm in love with Esme," she blurted out, the words escaping like a dam bursting after years of silent agony. What came next wasn't the rejection she feared, but something far worse. A calculated silence followed by her mother's cold, unyielding stare that hinted at a storm about to unleash chaos on their lives. Adeline replayed the moment in her mind over and over, each recollection sharpening the blade of regret. Why had she chosen that rainy Tuesday evening? The house smelled of leftover lasagna, a mundane backdrop to what should have been a pivotal confession. But there she was, facing her mother, Lydia, a woman whose life revolved around church committees and neighborhood book clubs, the epitome of middle-class normalcy. Lydia's eyes widened, not in shock, but in a flicker of something Adeline couldn't place. Calculation, perhaps? "Esme? Your roommate from college?" Lydia asked, her voice steady, almost too composed. Adeline nodded, her throat tight. "Yes, Mom. We've been together for 2 years. I love her. She's everything to me." The words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of unspoken fears. Inside, Adeline's thoughts raced. What if this ends us? What if she disowns me like Aunt Clara did to Cousin Mike? But Lydia didn't scream or cry. Instead, she poured herself a glass of water, sipping slowly, her mind clearly whirring. "I need time to process this," she said finally, her tone neutral. Adeline felt a spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, acceptance was possible. Little did she know, that spark would ignite a firestorm. The next morning, Adeline woke to the sound of her phone buzzing incessantly. Texts from friends, calls from extended family, everyone knew. How? Her stomach dropped as she scrolled through messages. "Heard about you and Esme. Praying for you. Is it true? Your mom told the pastor." Betrayal sliced through her like ice. Lydia had gone straight to the church group chat, outing her daughter to the entire congregation under the guise of seeking prayers and guidance. Adeline's inner voice screamed. How could she? This was my truth to share, not hers to weaponize. She confronted Lydia in the living room, where her mother sat with a Bible open on her lap. "Why, Mom? Why tell everyone?" Adeline's voice cracked, tears streaming. Lydia looked up, her expression a mask of righteous concern. "I needed support, Adeline. This isn't just about you. It's about our family, our values. What will people think?" The words stung, revealing the chasm between them. Adeline thought of Esme, waiting anxiously at their apartment downtown, oblivious to the unfolding disaster. Their relationship, built on stolen moments and whispered promises during college in Boston, now felt exposed, vulnerable. Esme, with her fierce independence forged from a broken home, had warned her. "Families like yours don't bend, they break you." But Adeline had believed in change, in love conquering prejudice. Now doubt crept in. Was I naive? Is this the price of authenticity? As the day wore on, the fallout intensified. Adeline's phone lit up with notifications from social media. Relatives unfriending her, cousins posting veiled Bible verses about sin. Inside, she battled a torrent of emotions. Anger at her mother's betrayal, shame from societal judgment, and a gnawing fear that this could destroy her bond with Esme. She drove to their apartment, the Seattle skyline blurring through tear-streaked windows. Esme opened the door, her face pale. "What's happening?" "My boss just asked if I was okay," said she heard rumors. Adeline collapsed into her arms, sobbing. "Mom outed us. To everyone." Esme's embrace tightened, but Adeline sensed the tension in her body. Esme's thoughts mirrored her own. "This isn't just about us anymore. It's a battlefield." Born in a conservative Texas town, Esme had fled at 18, cutting ties with her own family after they discovered her first girlfriend. "I won't let them tear us apart," Esme whispered. But her voice held an edge of resolve that scared Adeline. What if Esme decides it's too much? What if I lose her because of this? That night they lay in bed, not touching, the silence thick with unspoken accusations. Adeline's mind raced. I should have waited. Or never told. But hiding felt like dying slowly. The moral quandary gnawed at her. Was honesty worth this pain? By evening Lydia called, her voice laced with faux remorse. "Come home, Adeline. We need to talk as a family. Adeline hesitated, her heart torn. Part of her yearned for reconciliation, the child in her craving maternal approval. But the woman in love with Esme knew better. I'll come alone, she said, hanging up. Driving back, she pondered the ethics of it all. Is a mother's love conditional? Does society have the right to dictate who we love? The house felt colder upon arrival. Lydia waiting with Adeline's father, Robert, a quiet man who deferred to his wife on emotional matters. Your mother did what she thought was best, he mumbled. Lydia interjected. I love you, but this lifestyle. It's against everything we believe. The word lifestyle hit like a slap. Adeline's inner monologue erupted. It's not a choice, it's who I am. Why can't you see that? The argument escalated, voices rising. You're throwing away your future. Lydia shouted. For what? A phase. Adeline fired back. It's not a phase, Mom. Esme is my future. Robert tried to mediate, but his passivity only fueled the fire. As Adeline stormed out, she realized the damage. Bridges burned, family fractured. Back with Esme, she confessed her doubts. What if they're right? What if I'm hurting everyone? Esme's eyes flashed. They're wrong. But if you waver, we both lose. The tension between loyalty to family and self hung heavy. A moral tightrope. Adeline walked alone in her thoughts. The following days blurred into a haze of avoidance and confrontation. Adeline's workplace, a graphic design firm in the city, buzzed with whispers, colleagues who knew her family through church connections. One coworker pulled her aside. I support you, but be careful. People talk. Inside, Adeline seethed. Why must my love be a spectacle? Esme, working as a barista to fund her art dreams, faced similar scrutiny from customers who recognized her from online posts. Is it worth it? Esme asked one night, her voice breaking. Adeline pulled her close, but the question lingered. Are we strong enough? Lydia's next move amplified the drama. A family intervention orchestrated with the pastor. Adeline arrived to find relatives gathered, Bibles in hand. We're here to help you see the light, the pastor intoned. Betrayal deepened as Lydia led the charge. Think of your soul, Adeline. The room erupted in pleas and accusations. Adeline's mind screamed. This isn't love, it's control. She fled, heart-shattering. Esme waited outside, having insisted on coming. We're done with them, she declared. But Adeline wondered, can I really cut ties? The ethical dilemma tore at her. Was abandoning family the right choice, or just revenge? Adeline's resolve hardened in the weeks that followed, but the cracks in her relationship with Esme began to show. Sleepless nights were filled with arguments, not about love, but about survival. We need to move, start fresh, Esme urged, her Texas drawl sharpening with frustration. Adeline hesitated, her thoughts a whirlwind. Leaving Seattle means abandoning my roots, but staying means constant judgment. The city, once a haven of progressive vibes, now felt suffocating with every glance from strangers who might know her story through the grapevine. Lydia's betrayal had rippled outward, infecting even casual acquaintances. One evening, Adeline received an email from her cousin. Aunt Lydia says you're confused. Come back to God. Rage bubbled. How dare she paint me as lost? Esme, sensing the turmoil, suggested therapy, but Adeline resisted, fearing it would expose more vulnerabilities. Inside, she questioned. Am I strong, or just stubborn? The moral weight pressed down. Was clinging to pride worth alienating everyone? Esme's patience wore thin as Adeline's indecision mounted. You can't have both worlds, Esme said during a heated dinner, her fork clattering against the plate. Adeline's heart ached. She's right, but choosing hurts. Their love, once a sanctuary, now bore the scars of external pressure. Esme shared her own past. My parents disowned me. It broke me, but I rebuilt. You have to decide. Adeline envied her resilience, born from necessity, while her own upbringing in a stable home left her ill-equipped for such rupture. That night, alone in the bathroom, Adeline stared at her reflection. Who am I without my family? The answer terrified her. Society's gaze amplified the isolation. News articles on LGBTQ+ rights felt personal, highlighting the battles she now fought. A call from Lydia came unexpectedly. I miss you. Can we meet neutrally? Adeline agreed, hoping for olive branches but dreading thorns. They met at a coffee shop in neutral territory, Lydia's face etched with genuine worry. I didn't mean to hurt you, she admitted. Adeline's thoughts raced. Is this remorse or manipulation? The conversation veered into territory of compromise. If you keep it private, maybe we can move past this. But privacy felt like erasure. No, Mom. Acceptance or nothing. The standoff ended in tears, each woman paying the price of conviction. Back home, Esme demanded answers. What did she say? Adeline recounted, and Esme's face darkened. She's trying to control you still. The accusation sparked a fight. You don't understand family bonds. Adeline yelled. Esme retorted. I do, mine severed them first. The exchange revealed fissures. Esme's abandonment issues clashing with Adeline's lingering hope. Internally, Adeline grappled. Is love enough without roots? The drama escalated when Robert called, siding quietly with Adeline. Your mom overreacted. Give her time. But time felt like a luxury they couldn't afford. Adeline's work suffered. Deadlines missed due to distraction. Her boss, sympathetic but firm. Sort it out or it affects us all. The professional toll added layers to her ethical quandary. How far does personal truth ripple? Esme, meanwhile, poured her pain into art, sketching scenes of fractured hearts. One piece, an abstract of two women pulling apart, mirrored their reality. This is us if we don't fight back, Esme said. Adeline nodded, but doubt whispered, fight how? Without destroying more? A turning point came via an unexpected ally. Adeline's old high school friend, now an LGBTQ+ advocate. Your story's spreading online anonymously. People relate. The viral thread, sparked by a cousin's post, brought support but also backlash. Adeline's inbox filled with messages. Encouragement from strangers, vitriol from trolls. Inside, she marveled. My pain connects, but at what cost? Esme embraced the publicity. Use it to push back. They attended a support group, where stories of similar betrayals echoed. One woman shared. My mom outed me, I forgave but boundaries saved us. Adeline pondered forgiveness. Is it weakness or strength? Lydia's next act tested that. She showed up at their apartment unannounced. I want to meet Esme, she declared. Adeline's heart froze. Intrusion or olive branch? Esme wary agreed. The meeting was tense, Lydia probing. What do you offer my daughter? Esme fired back. Love without conditions. Lydia's facade cracked, revealing her own fears. I worry she'll end up alone like my sister. The vulnerability humanized her, but Adeline thought. Her fears don't justify harm. As Lydia left, promising thought, Adeline felt a shift. Maybe change is possible, but trust is shattered. The emotional toll mounted, with Adeline experiencing panic attacks. Her mind a loop of what-ifs. What if I lose you? She confessed to Esme one dawn. Esme held her. You won't if we choose us. But choice meant sacrifice. Adeline cut contact with toxic relatives, a painful pruning. Internally. Am I betraying my heritage? Society's lens judged harshly. Media stories of divided families fueled her resolve. A breakthrough came when Lydia attended a PFLAG meeting alone. Learning about acceptance. She texted. I'm trying. Skepticism warred with hope in Adeline's heart. Esme cautioned. Actions, not words. The couple planned a getaway to the coast, seeking respite. There, amid waves, they reaffirmed. We're worth the fight. But returning brought reality. Lydia's church pressuring her to save Adeline. The conflict peaked in Adeline's mind. Whose morality wins? Adeline's world tilted further when Esme received a job offer in New York. A chance to exhibit her art in a prestigious gallery. This could be our fresh start, Esme said, eyes alight with possibility. But Adeline's thoughts darkened. Leaving means finality, abandoning any hope with Mom. The offer forced a decision, amplifying the drama. What about us here? Adeline asked, voice trembling. Esme's response was firm. Here is poison. We need to escape. Internally, Adeline wrestled. Is running cowardice or self-preservation? Lydia's efforts at reconciliation added complexity. She invited them to dinner, sans judgment. Just talk, she pleaded. Adeline agreed, Esme reluctant. The dinner was a minefield. Robert awkward. Lydia probing gently about their life. How did you meet? She asked Esme. College debate club, we argued then connected, Esme replied coolly. Lydia nodded, but Adeline sensed underlying tension. As dessert arrived, Lydia confessed. I was wrong to out you. Fear drove me. Tears flowed, but Adeline's heart guarded. Words are cheap. Prove it. Post-dinner, Esme exploded. She's manipulating you, Adeline defended. Maybe she's changing. The rift widened, their love strained by differing views on forgiveness. Adeline's inner dialogue raged. Betray Esme for family or family for Esme? Society's expectations loomed. Articles on reparative therapy horrified her, reminding of dangers. A call from the pastor urged healing, which Adeline rejected outright. No more interference, she snapped. Empowerment surged, but isolation followed. Esme packed subtly, preparing for New York alone if needed. I won't wait forever, she warned. Adeline panicked. Lose her and what? The moral crossroads. Loyalty to self versus others. She confronted Lydia alone. Accept us fully or lose me. Lydia hesitated. I love you, but my faith. Adeline's resolve broke through. Then choose. The ultimatum hung, a dagger in their bond. Weeks passed in limbo, Adeline's anxiety peaking. Work demotion loomed due to distractions. Friends distanced. Inside, am I paying too high a price? Esme's art flourished amid turmoil, channeling pain into canvases of defiant women. One night, viewing a piece, Adeline whispered, This is you strong. Esme softened. Us. Reconciliation flickered. Lydia's breakthrough came via a letter. I've left the church group. They're wrong. I want to know Esme. Skepticism lingered, but Adeline arranged a neutral meet. At a park, Lydia arrived humble. I'm sorry, she said to Esme. For everything. Esme tested. Why now? Lydia admitted. Losing my daughter terrifies me more than judgment. Vulnerability bridged gaps, but trust rebuilt slowly. Adeline thought. Is this genuine or survival? The trio talked hours unpacking prejudices. Lydia shared her own repressed youth. I never questioned norms. Awakening dawned. As bonds mended tentatively, Esme's offer deadline loomed. Stay or go? Adeline asked. Esme. Together wherever. But Adeline chose Seattle. He'll hear first. Esme agreed, sacrificing the job. The decision weighed. Was it fair to her? Drama subsided, replaced by cautious optimism. Lydia attended Pride events incognito, learning. One day she hugged Esme. Welcome to the family. Tears mixed with relief. Adeline's mind reflected. Sacrifice birthed growth, but scars remain. Society's shift felt personal. Local laws protecting LGBTQ+ rights bolstered hope. Yet backlash from extended family persisted. Disinvites to gatherings. Adeline pondered. Full acceptance or facade? Esme's art sold, funding therapy for all. Healing sessions unearthed pains. Lydia's fear of hell, Adeline's resentment, Esme's abandonment. Catharsis flowed. The high came crashing when a relative leaked old photos online, captioning pray for the lost. Trolls descended, threats ensued. Adeline's fear spiked. Safety now at risk? Esme raged. This is why we leave. Lydia stepped up, publicly denouncing the act on social media. My daughter is loved as she is. The post went viral, shifting narratives. Adeline marveled. Mom's evolution, real? Support poured in, but so did hate. Internally, progress demands endurance. The family united against adversity, bonds forging stronger. Esme whispered, We're unbreakable. Adeline believed, but questioned. At what ongoing cost? Adeline's newfound stability shattered with an anonymous letter arriving at their door. Sinners like you don't deserve happiness. The threat, laced with biblical quotes, sent chills. Who? Adeline whispered, mind racing to suspects, disgruntled relatives? Church holdouts? Esme's face hardened. Your mom's past catching up. Doubt crept. Did Lydia's change invite this? They reported to police, but dismissal stung. Just words. Internally, Adeline seethed. Society protects hate under free speech? Lydia arrived frantic. This is my fault. For once, Adeline agreed silently. The incident reignited tensions. Esme pushed for relocation. New York calls again. Adeline resisted. Running validates them. The clash exposed raw nerves. Esme's trauma versus Adeline's optimism. Moral dilemma. Protect love or confront prejudice. Therapy intensified, unpacking layers. Lydia confessed deeper. I envied your freedom. I married young, never explored. Revelation humanized her, but Adeline thought. Her regrets don't excuse harm. Esme softened slightly. Everyone pays prices. A family trip to the mountains aimed at bonding. But arguments flared over past betrayals. Robert, usually silent, spoke. I failed you both by not intervening. Accountability flowed. Tears mending fissures. Adeline reflected. Forgiveness is a choice, heavy with consequences. Back home more threats arrive, calls, emails. Paranoia set in. Watched? Esme installed security, her protectiveness fierce. I won't lose you, she vowed. Adeline's heart swelled, but fear whispered. What if we do? The crisis peaked at a community event where Lydia spoke publicly about acceptance. Midway, protesters interrupted. God hates sin. Chaos ensued, Adeline shielding Esme. Lydia stood firm. Love is love. The moment went viral, garnering allies. But backlash hit hard. Lydia lost friends, Robert's job pressured. Adeline's guilt mounted. My truth costs them. Esme consoled. They chose this path. Internally, right choices hurt. A breakthrough. Anonymous sender revealed as a cousin, disowned by family. Justice served, but scars deepened. Adeline pondered. Hate breeds hate. How to break cycles. Esme's art series on resilience sold out. Profits to LGBTQ+ causes. Empowerment rose amid pain. Healing progressed unevenly. Adeline proposed to Esme on a quiet evening. Ring simple. Through storms, you're my anchor. Esme accepted, tears joyful. Lydia's reaction. Genuine joy, planning discreetly. But societal whispers lingered. Wedding invites declined by some. Adeline thought. Partial acceptance enough? The ceremony, intimate, symbolized triumph. Vows echoed commitments. In betrayal and forgiveness we endure. Post-wedding, normalcy beckoned, but Adeline's mind questioned. Is peace permanent? Lydia's full embrace included holidays together. Awkward yet warm. Esme thawed. She's trying. Bonds rebuilt on honesty. Years later, reflecting, Adeline saw the journey's toll. Lost relationships, gained wisdom. Esme's career soared, Adeline's too. Lydia advocated locally, paying forward. But echoes of betrayal lingered in quiet moments. Adeline wondered. Was the pain worth the growth? Adeline's newfound stability shattered with an anonymous letter arriving at their door. Sinners like you don't deserve happiness. The threat, laced with biblical quotes, sent chills through her spine. Who could do this? Adeline whispered to Esme, her mind immediately racing to potential suspects. Disgruntled relatives from Lydia's side. Or perhaps holdouts from the church who hadn't forgiven Lydia's shift in stance. Esme's face hardened, her protective instincts kicking in. This is the poison I warned about. Your mom's initial betrayal opened the floodgates. Doubt crept into Adeline's thoughts like a shadow. Did Lydia's public change invite this backlash? Or was it inevitable in a society still grappling with acceptance? They reported the letter to the police, but the officer's dismissive tone. Just words, no direct threat. Stung like a fresh wound. Internally, Adeline seethed with frustration. How can society protect hate speech under the guise of freedom, while dismissing the fear it instills in those it targets? Lydia arrived at their apartment within hours, her face ashen with guilt. This is my fault, my action started this chain, she admitted, her voice breaking. For the first time, Adeline didn't contradict her silently. The truth of it hung heavy between them. The incident reignited old tensions in their relationship, with Esme pushing harder for relocation. New York is calling again, the gallery renewed the offer. We could leave this toxicity behind, she argued, her eyes pleading. Adeline resisted, her heart anchored to Seattle. Running feels like admitting defeat, like validating their hatred. The clash exposed the raw nerves they had both tried to heal. Esme's deep-seated trauma from her own family's rejection clashing head-on with Adeline's stubborn optimism that change could happen here, in the place she called home. The moral dilemma tore at Adeline's core. Should they protect their love by fleeing? or stay and confront the prejudice that threatened to engulf them. Therapy sessions intensified in the following days, the counselor guiding them through unpacking these layers of fear and resentment. Lydia joined one session, confessing deeper truths than before. I envied your freedom, Adeline. I married young, followed the script, never explored who I might have been. The revelation humanized her further, painting her not as a villain but as a product of her own repressed life. But Adeline's inner voice pushed back. Her regrets don't excuse the harm she caused. Accountability isn't absolution. Esme surprisingly softened a fraction. Everyone pays prices for their choices, but owning them is a start. A family trip to the Olympic Mountains was proposed as a way to bond and escape the city's suffocating atmosphere, but even there arguments flared over lingering betrayals. Robert, who had long been the silent observer, finally found his voice around the campfire. I failed you both by not intervening sooner. My passivity let the hurt fester. The admission brought a wave of accountability, with tears flowing freely as they dissected the past. Adeline reflected inwardly during a solo hike. Forgiveness isn't a one-time act. It's a choice renewed daily, heavy with the consequences of trust rebuilt on fragile ground. Back in Seattle, more threats arrived. Harassing phone calls at odd hours, emails filled with vitriol. Paranoia set in. Were they being watched? Esme took charge, installing security cameras and alarms, her protectiveness a fierce shield. I won't let anyone take you from me, she vowed, her embrace tight. Adeline's heart swelled with love, but a whisper of fear persisted. What if we lose each other not to hate, but to the stress it breeds? The crisis reached its peak at a local community event, where Lydia had been invited to speak about her journey toward acceptance, in a panel on family dynamics, in the LGBTQ+ community. Midway through her story, a group of protesters burst in, chanting "God hates sin," and waving signs. Chaos erupted, with Adeline instinctively shielding Esme as security intervened. Lydia stood firm at the podium, her voice steady. Love is love and hate has no place here. The moment was captured on video and went viral overnight, garnering unexpected allies from across the country. But the backlash hit hard. Lydia lost longtime friends. Robert's job came under pressure from conservative clients, and Adeline's guilt mounted like a tidal wave. My truth is costing them everything. Am I selfish for pursuing it? Esme consoled her that night. They chose this path with you. Don't carry their burdens. Internally, Adeline grappled. Right choices often come with pain, but does that make them wrong? In the investigation's wake, the anonymous sender was revealed as Adeline's cousin, motivated by resentment and now disowned by the extended family. Justice felt bittersweet, the scars from the ordeal deepening everyone's resolve. Adeline pondered late into the night. Hate breeds more hate. How do we break these vicious cycles without becoming bitter ourselves? Esme's art series on resilience, inspired by the events, sold out at a local show, with profits donated to LGBTQ+ safety causes. Empowerment rose from the ashes of pain, a testament to their endurance. Adeline stood at the altar in a small Seattle chapel, her hand steady as she slipped the ring onto Esme's finger, the weight of their journey etched in every glance. Through storms and betrayals, you're my anchor, she vowed, her voice rich with emotion. Esme's eyes shimmered. And you're my light in the darkness. The intimate ceremony, attended by a handful of true allies including Lydia and Robert, symbolized not just union but triumph over the fractures that had nearly torn them apart. Lydia's genuine joy radiated as she helped plan discreetly, her evolution complete in ways Adeline had once doubted. But even in this moment of bliss, societal whispers lingered. Some wedding invites had been declined by relatives, a reminder that full acceptance was a myth for many. Adeline thought inwardly. Is partial love enough? Or do we keep fighting for wholeness? The reception was simple, laughter mingling with tears as toasts honored resilience. Lydia raised her glass. To choosing love over fear. Esme thawed fully, hugging her. Thank you for trying. Post-wedding life settled into a rhythm that felt earned, not given. Esme's career soared with a new gallery deal in the city, her pieces now celebrated for their raw depiction of queer struggles. Adeline advanced at work, her designs infused with personal depth. Lydia became a quiet advocate, volunteering at PFLAG, and sharing her story to help other parents. Holidays together were awkward at first, traditions clashing with new boundaries, but warmed over time. One Christmas, as snow blanketed Seattle, Lydia gifted them a photo album of old family pictures, including new ones with Esme. "You're part of us now," she said. Adeline's heart mended a little more, but scars reminded. "Trust is fragile." Esme whispered later. "She's proven it." Internally, Adeline reflected. Healing isn't linear. It's a dance of steps forward and back. Years passed, the drama of the past fading into lessons. Adeline and Esme adopted a rescue dog, symbolizing their built family. Lydia's health scare, a minor heart issue, brought them closer, priorities sharpening. "I wasted time on judgment," Lydia confessed in the hospital. Adeline held her hand. "We all pay prices." Society evolved slowly around them. Laws strengthened, attitudes shifted, but pockets of prejudice remained. Adeline volunteered too, mentoring young lesbians facing similar outcomings. One girl's story mirrored hers. "My mom outed me," Adeline advised. "Choose your truth but brace for the storm." Her mind wandered. Was my path right? Esme's art evolved, incorporating themes of forgiveness and betrayal, inspiring thousands. Together they spoke at events, their story a beacon. But quiet nights brought doubts. Did the pain yield enough growth? Reflecting on it all, Adeline saw the intricate web of choices, betrayals that led to awakenings, damages that forged strength. The family, once shattered, now stood united, each member transformed by the fire. Yet, echoes of the initial shock lingered in her soul, a reminder of vulnerability. Esme, ever the anchor, reassured. "We're unbreakable because we broke and rebuilt." Lydia's final act of redemption, funding a scholarship for LGBTQ+ youth. Adeline marveled. From destroyer to ally, the human capacity for change. Adeline stood at the altar in a small sunlit chapel overlooking Puget Sound in Seattle, her hand steady despite the whirlwind of emotions as she slipped the simple gold ring onto Esme's finger. The metal felt cool, a tangible promise amid the intangible trials they had endured. "Through the storms of betrayal and the tempests of doubt, you have been my unwavering anchor," she vowed, her voice rich with the depth of hard-won love, eyes locking onto Esme's with an intensity that spoke volumes. Esme's eyes shimmered with unshed tears, her reply a whisper that carried the weight of their shared history. "And you are my guiding light in every darkness we've faced." The intimate ceremony, attended only by a handful of true allies including Lydia and Robert, symbolized not just their union but a hard-fought triumph over the fractures that had nearly torn their world asunder. Lydia's genuine joy radiated through her smiles as she had helped plan the details discreetly, her evolution from adversary to supporter now complete in ways Adeline had once deemed impossible. But even in this pinnacle moment of bliss, the whispers of society lingered like faint echoes. Some wedding invitations had been politely declined by distant relatives, a stark reminder that full, unconditional acceptance remained a myth for so many in their community. Adeline pondered inwardly as the officiant pronounced them married. Is partial love sufficient to build a life on, or must we continue the fight for wholeness, no matter the exhaustion? The reception that followed was deliberately simple, held in a cozy backyard garden under string lights, where laughter mingled freely with tears as toasts honored not just the couple but the resilience that had brought them here. Lydia raised her glass first, her voice steady but emotional. "To choosing love over fear, and to the family we've rebuilt from the ashes." The words landed with profound impact, and Esme, who had once viewed Lydia with unyielding wariness, thawed completely in that moment, pulling her into a genuine hug. "Thank you for trying and for succeeding." Internally, Adeline's thoughts swirled with gratitude and lingering caution. Her mother's path to this point had been paved with pain, but the arrival felt miraculous. As the evening wound down, dances shared and stories retold, Adeline felt a rare peace settle over her. A sense that the prices paid had perhaps been worth the outcome. In the months and years that followed the wedding, life settled into a rhythm that felt earned rather than bestowed, a delicate balance of normalcy interspersed with the ongoing work of healing. Esme's career soared to new heights with a renewed gallery deal right in Seattle, her pieces now celebrated nationwide for their raw, unflinching depiction of queer struggles and triumphs, each canvas a testament to the emotional depths they had plumbed. Adeline advanced in her graphic design firm, her work infused with a personal depth that resonated with clients, turning her experiences into subtle advocacy through visuals. Lydia, transformed, became a quiet but dedicated advocate in her own right, volunteering at local PFLAG chapters and sharing her story anonymously to guide other parents through the maze of confusion and prejudice. Holidays together started awkwardly, old traditions clashing with new boundaries set to protect everyone's peace, but warmed gradually into something authentic. One Christmas, as fresh snow blanketed the city streets, Lydia gifted them a custom photo album filled with old family pictures interspersed with new ones including Esme, captioning it, "Our complete story." "You're part of us now irrevocably," she said, her eyes misty. Adeline's heart mended a fraction more with each such gesture, though the scars of betrayal served as constant reminders. Trust, once shattered, is rebuilt with care, never taken for granted again. Esme whispered to her later that night. "She's truly proven it. Actions over time speak louder than any apology." As years passed, the initial drama of their lives faded into the background, morphing into profound lessons that shaped their daily existence. Adeline and Esme adopted a scruffy rescue dog named Hope, symbolizing the family they had built from choice rather than blood, its playful energy a daily joy amid routines. Lydia's minor health scare, a treatable heart arrhythmia, brought an unexpected closeness, with hospital visits turning into deep conversations about regrets and redemptions. "I wasted so much time on judgment and fear," Lydia confessed from her bed, gripping Adeline's hand. "We all do in our ways," Adeline replied softly, her own reflections bubbling up. "We've all paid prices, but growth emerges from the rubble." Society around them evolved slowly but noticeably, stronger laws protecting LGBTQ+ rights, shifting attitudes in media and communities, but pockets of deep-seated prejudice remained, a humbling reality check. Adeline began volunteering as well, mentoring young lesbians navigating similar coming-out journeys. One girl's story struck particularly close. "My mom outed me to the whole town," Adeline advised with hard-earned wisdom. "Hold on to your truth but brace for the storms, and know that on the other side strength awaits." Her mind often wandered during these sessions. Was my own path the right one? Or could different choices have spared the pain? Esme's art continued to evolve, incorporating nuanced themes of forgiveness intertwined with betrayal, her exhibitions inspiring thousands and sparking dialogues on social media. Together, they occasionally spoke at events, their story serving as a beacon for those in the throes of similar conflicts. But in the quiet nights when the world slept, doubts sometimes resurfaced for Adeline. Did the immense pain we endured yield enough growth to justify it all? Or was there a gentler way lost to us? Lydia's final act of redemption came in funding a scholarship for LGBTQ+ youth facing family rejection, her way of paying forward the lessons learned. Adeline marveled at the full circle. From unwitting destroyer to committed ally, the human capacity for change never ceased to amaze, even as it demanded vigilance.